What do you think is like America's biggest problem right now? War, immigration, and free speech.
Trump's too orange. I don't like that.
I'm voting for Trump. He's going to send the refugees back to their country, and he loves black people.
I hope you see this, Trump. I hope you see this. It's just sad to go into this election as my first vote.
Do you guys like America? We're in New York City, and the question I'll be asking is, who are you gonna vote for and why? I've never seen a red Kamala Harris hat. I thought it was a MAGA hat.
People to think I'm on Trump's side so I could clown them. I will have my period forever, and I'm gonna be red forever just to have a female president, finally.
So is that like the only criteria of why you're gonna vote for her, or?
Trump's too orange. I don't like that.
Love it, love it. We gotta elect the once and future king, Donald J. Trump. Wow, controversial words to say if you go to NYU. I know it's not very popular around here. Even though we have Baron Trump here, still not a very popular take around here.
Whoever wins is whoever wins, okay? You hear me? Whoever wins.
So you don't give a
I don't give a because at the end of the day, y'all motherfuckers gonna keep coming back.
I kind of want a black woman. I'm not gonna lie.
Why? That's the only criteria?
Bro, that would be like significant. That would change waves. That's it. Black woman.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, Kamala Harris. I'm voting Kamala.
Who'd you say?
I'm voting for Trump.
Why's that? Why's that?
Huh?
Why's that?
Because he's going to send the refugees back to their country, and he loves black people.
Okay. I hope you see this, Trump. I hope you see this, Trump. I hope you see this. I'm more towards Kamala. Simply, she's just a better person.
What makes her a better person?
At least she talks about caring more about the people. That's what drags me towards her more.
That doesn't sound convincing if I had to be real.
I'm gonna be voting for Kamala. I definitely have my qualms with her because I feel like there's still so much work that needs to be done. The whole like genocide, you know, saying that she wants to give more resources to Israel, that is something that I'm very like uncomfortable with.
So then why are you voting for Kamala then? Like what is like the redeeming qualities about her or policies that you want to vote for her?
As a queer South Asian woman of color, like I feel like Trump like doesn't support anything that I support.
I'm gonna vote for Trump. Kamala is less like real. No one voted for her. She lost in her own primary and back in 2020, I believe. And now Biden dropped out. No one voted for her again. She just got handed it. I just think that's not really democracy, and that's the way I'm gonna vote for Trump.
I'm gonna vote for Kamala. There's no way New York is going any way but blue. We kind of know that people are gonna vote, and certain states are guaranteed to go a certain way.
I don't think I'll be voting this time around.
And that's okay,
yeah.
Honestly. Like I think that's also a vote too.
Honestly, Robert Kennedy would be the person that I vote for out of anybody. Not because he's a third party specifically, but because he has exact things where people have asked him, how are you gonna do this? And where Trump has literally just replied, like, I have a concept of a plan.
So if you haven't noticed already, 2024 is already shaping up to be one of the craziest years in politics. Half the world has already had their elections, and each and every single day seems like the threat of war is becoming more likely. And with our elections a month away and all the debates have finished, who the hell knows at this point who's gonna win? And so not only did I want to see what people in the country's largest city and the craziest GTA server were thinking, but I wanted to make this video because after the first video that I made on this topic, I've changed my mind. For those who didn't see it, I used to think that I don't think it's really that important to vote and I wasn't really going to engage in this election. But like I want to encourage you all through this channel is that, look, it's okay to change your mind. So I'll be revealing who I will be voting for by the end.
Who do you think I'm gonna vote for?
I think you don't know.
But at the same time, I'm conflicted because is it a good idea to reveal who when the whole mission of my channel is to remain unbiased? Well, it. I guess we gon' see.
What have you been like using to like stay up to date and like unbiased when it comes to like making your informed decision? Interesting, it's kind of hard to do nowadays because whichever algorithm you're in just caters to, you know, your biases and what gets you hyped up. But go on Twitter, go on X, go on Instagram. I try to get a pretty good view from all sides, but it's hard sometimes. It is hard. It is hard.
I use social media, but not in the like influencer point of view. Like I don't like someone telling me their opinion on politics. It's more like, you know, Daily Mail. Like
I like to listen to all different news sources so I can come to my own conclusion. I don't want to just listen to one thing because I agree with it. I want to listen to what I don't agree with too.
Because if you're watching this channel, I'm sure you can relate that it's tough to even know what truth is anymore. And so in a time of media bias and mistrust, that's why I've been using my sponsor, Straight Arrow News. So Straight Arrow News is an app and website that made it easy for me to stay up to date this election cycle and help me stay unbiased on my search for truth. In fact, I actually use it to even write our own newsletter. And I think what they're doing is really important because we're living in a time where we don't even know what's real or fake and we're more divided than ever. So I'm genuinely passionate about this sponsor because when you download Straight Arrow News, not only are you supporting me, you're also supporting a group of journalists that are actually aligned in our channel's mission. So go to san.com/gen or use my link in the description to download the free app so you can stay fully informed.
What do you think is like America's biggest problem right now?
Oh, there's many problems, but it's just like too divided. And I think she's bringing a lot of people more together.
Absolutely horrible immigration problem that we have. I like legal immigration, hate illegal immigration.
I think that the biggest problem is obviously housing market, economy at the moment. So when people bring up economy and that Biden really brought down the economy and like COVID and all that, it kind of just, we're in Trump's tax laws at the moment. So I don't necessarily see how him coming into candidacy will help our economy.
War, immigration, and free speech. Okay. So Trump may or may not get us into war with Iran. So that is something I do worry about. But other than that, I think he doesn't want to get us in war. He didn't start any wars when he was in office, and it seems like something that he does not want us to get into. Do people actually get like visibly mad if you tell them that you are going to vote for Donald Trump, or is this still kind of on their wraps? I mean, you're going to tell it to a bunch of people. Yeah, I mean, they might know now, but it's the kind of thing you just wouldn't really tell them, kind of just not broach the subject. I'm curious, like, would you stop becoming friends with people because they vote for Trump? Like, I hear that a lot.
I just want you to vote. Like, if you're voting for Trump, that's honestly, I just want you to vote. Like, I don't care who you vote for. Like I said, it's really, you gotta hope for the best. And
who do you think won the debate? I think it was pretty much a draw. We had good and bad on both sides. I think Trump got the most viral moments, but I think it's like, yeah, I mean, the debate's just clip farming. That's what it is. Describe it exactly. Trump was a better clip farmer. Kamala was a better like politician, like calm debater.
Kamala, just because like.
You look so defeated throughout this interview. You're like sighing like you're like 81 and you've seen like 2 world wars. Like you're 18, like chill out. Go smoke some weed or something.
I want to say Kamala.
I think it's important for us to have a second debate with Kamala and Trump because...
Okay, who do you think won the debate?
Honestly, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, like, did it change any of your guys' mind? I think that shit is such a waste of fucking time.
It made me more confused. I'm like...
They both lied.
You both are dodging questions. You both are saying the same thing over and over again. It doesn't seem like any of you guys are a worthy candidate.
Honestly, that debate was a shit show.
It probably even depressed you. Like, you didn't even want to vote anymore, right?
I wanted to vote for one side or the other, but seeing how the state of both sides is, I just can't force myself to pick one because they're both so shitty. Like,
so it's clear at this point that these debates aren't effective because whoever side you were going to vote for already was the side that you saw as the winner of the debate. And let's be clear, the format sucks. These debates aren't convincing anyone to go to the other side from who you were going to already vote for. And look, I'm not saying that it's not a significant issue or anything, but if we're spending the same amount of time talking about abortion versus the economy where most Americans will actually care about, then look, there's a problem with the format. It's gonna be purely about views and sensationalism, but it wasn't always like this.
And congratulations to you, Mr. President, on your anniversary. I'm sure this was the most romantic place you could imagine, here with me. So
We're scared of an Obama presidency. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with, and that's what this campaign is all about.
That's crazy to see that was actually 15 years ago, but now it's a competition on who can clip farm the best.
People start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go.
So now on the topic of media, I wanted to dig closely into each candidate because at this point, what's the truth from what the media shows and depicts about a candidate and who they really are and what they stand for?
Do you feel like Trump has been unfairly targeted by the legal system as well as media?
Yes, definitely. I mean, yes, I do. A lot of people know that. It's obvious, yeah.
But being that I grew up in the tri-state area, and I knew people that had dealings with Donald, he's not an honest dude. And he like was always cheating people, contractors, not paying people, saying, you know, sue me to get the money. So he's never been a person that I felt was fair.
Do you feel like Trump is unfairly targeted by the legal and media? I do. I definitely think that. And it's kind of funny because I watched the Democratic National Convention and they were talking about how Trump is this terrible, vengeful person. They were saying that, you know, look out, if Trump is elected, he's going to come at his political opponents in the legal realm. He's going to try to sue them and arrest them. And it's like, he has so many charges against him that seem to be very politically motivated right now. And that's the thing that they're saying that he's going to do, even though they're literally doing that to him right now. Do you think like Trump's policies or like stance on immigration can be considered xenophobic?
No, not at all. Because
Why's that?
he likes immigration, but he wants them to come legally. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just hard too because legal immigration is so strenuous and time consuming.
Well, I have a lot of legal immigrant friends who actually helped one of them become a legal citizen. And they're actually pissed off because they've done it the right way. And these people think they just walk into our country. And
A lot of Cubans, like in Miami, for example, as soon as they cross and they were granted asylum, they turn Republican very, very fast.
Exactly. And I have a lot of Cuban friends. I live in Florida. So, and they, not all of them, but a lot of them are going to be voting for Trump. Yeah.
She's currently the vice president. She's talking about change. In that instance, do you think her presidency will be different than Biden's presidency?
I mean, we kind of have to hope at this point. Like, it's less knowing and it's more hoping, which is so sad for America. Like, it's so sad.
I think like what I keep getting from this is that you're just not really enthralled by any of the choices. Is that fair to say?
It's so fair to say, and it's so sad to say, but yeah, like, it's honestly just obviously bringing up like Trump's criminal past and all that, again, with my morals, it's just, I can't put someone who's on criminal trial in office, like, and all that, like, it's sad, but.
Do you think who the president even matters then?
No. Like, I feel like whether Trump makes it or Camilla makes it, I mean, the only thing, like, if she makes it, yeah, she'll be like the first woman to actually be like a president figure. But I still feel like it doesn't really matter I feel like talk more and get more involved with the community and with your people that you are about to be president for, and then come talk to us.
The power of the president is watered down. You know, the president right now is Joe Biden. I don't think he's doing anything. And even if he was a powerful leader, it's watered down in so many ways. And I think this kind of administrative state needs to be drained.
If Kamala wins, abortion is probably at the forefront of that, and the 2025 Heritage Plan. If Donald wins, I'm not saying I agree, but the perception is that Trump will do better for the economy.
So look, if I'm gonna be real with you, I didn't really want to make another one of these voting videos because I think it's kind of cheap views, but who the hell am I to say, look at this, and here I am. But in all seriousness, I actually decided to make this video because I wanted to show firsthand a question that I get often on whether I actually do change my mind after talking to both sides of these complex issues. Like I said earlier in the conclusion of the first video that I made on this topic, look, I was of the conclusion I won't be voting because I wasn't a fan of either candidate. And look, I think voting is kind of a waste of time. And to be fair, that hasn't really changed too much. But a week after I uploaded that video, everything changed. Trump gets shot, Biden gets taken out figuratively, vice presidents were picked, and RFK drops out officially, making the two candidates Kamala versus Trump. So just as rapidly as things have evolved and changed and new information has come in, so has my stance on voting. And I'll be revealing exactly who I'll be voting for in just a minute. But first, I wanted to ask the most important question that I wanted to ask people in New York going into this.
Are you guys hopeful for America's future?
I'm very hopeful. I don't believe that it will be any better, to be honest. But I have hope that it will be.
I'd say we're definitely in a recession. So I'm hopeful that the next president could do something about that.
A little bit, but at the same time, I might move out in like 3 years. India or Russia or the UK. Or the UK.
Why Russia?
I mean, my roots, basically. Even though fuck Russia, fuck Putin, just want to say that. So fuck Trump also because of that reason.
I'm not super hopeful about it because if we continue to just like endlessly import people who don't care about the values of America, like we're just inevitably going to have a different nation in a couple generations.
This country is very much like one step forward, two steps back. Like America has made so much progress, but like
yeah, that's something we forget about, right?
Yeah,
like
but
we.
I feel like a lot of people take advantage of that. People are just like, oh my God, America sucks. But it's like, if you take America and you put them and you weigh them with other countries, like we're very like first world problems.
Yeah. Who do you guys think I'm gonna vote for?
I was gonna ask you who you're gonna vote for.
I personally think you would vote for Trump. I don't know why. I just get that vibe.
No homo, no Diddy, but like dudes who look kind of good, dudes who take care of their body, their physique, tend to be Trump guys. I don't know why.
I'm just gonna say Kamala.
Why is that?
Unfamiliar. You look like an alien with that shit.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you're voting for Kamala.
She does like illegal immigrants, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Are you voting for Kamala?
And so if you haven't guessed by now, by the time of this recording, my vote leans towards Trump. But before you either get pissed or you start celebrating, let me first explain why not Kamala, then why Trump, and why I decided to reveal this. So starting with why not Kamala.
Everyone's voice matters, but I am speaking now.
For me, she represents everything about politicians that I hate. And some of it's not even her fault. Harris initially ran as a candidate for president in 2020, but didn't even make it past the primaries and was destroyed in the debates by none other than Tulsi Gabbard.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
But despite this, Kamala was chosen as vice president by Biden, largely due to his desire that he explicitly said that he wanted a minority female vice president.
I committed that if I'm elected president, have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts.
Which again does raise the question, like, why not someone like Tulsi Gabbard then? Why was she not selected, who is actually a strong minority woman with a military background and actually has reasonable takes and clear policies? But regardless, then she becomes a vice president. Then between 2020 and 2024, she now becomes one of the least popular vice presidents in history. And although you can argue that, look, vice presidents don't really even have a role, there is something said to be there. So now, despite all that context, now in 2024, after Biden was pretty much forced to step down, this negativity and unpopularity around her has now completely shifted. And now she's the media's darling, and she's being presented as this strong minority female leader, when literally just months ago, it was a completely different tone. And as someone myself who's experienced run-ins with mainstream media in Brazil, this shows you the power of media manipulation and how a large population of people can easily be swayed by what they see on the screen. Like, am I the only one seeing this, or am I just crazy? So now, why Trump? And before I get into it, I do want to make it clear that, look, he wasn't really my ideal candidate. And if I had to choose, I would have either voted for Vivek, RFK Jr., or Tulsi Gabbard if she was actually, supported by her party. But with all that said, when it comes to Trump or Kamala, the reason why I want to vote for him is authenticity. Yes, Trump is a billionaire from New York who's convinced middle, lower class people in middle America that he's for them. And he has said some absolutely wild fake news shit that he himself criticizes the media for. But I think at the very least, he stayed true to himself as much as you can as a politician. No matter what side you're on, I don't think many people would have been able to respond the way that he has by staying in the race after being this close to getting goddamn assassinated. But on another note, why was that only relevant on the news for like 3 days? But there's a few other things. While Kamala has done softball, edited interviews with mainstream outlets like ABC and MSNBC, one thing that's been cool and I think is going to be the future is how Trump has been using new media, from podcasts like Lex Friedman to Theo Vaughn to even live streams with Aiden Ross.
Hope you like watches rolling.
And so by this point, 33% of you have probably said, again, I'm never watching this guy again. And 66% of you have probably said, W again, he's joined our side now. But let me make it clear, that's not what this channel's about. It's not about picking sides. If 2024 has taught us all anything, is that the political landscape is always shifting. And along with it are the parties and their values and what they want to grift their audience for. The values for anti-war, anti-censorship, and anti-big monopoly may belong to one side today, but if the base shifts and more votes can be found in another way, that will be the value for the other side tomorrow. And it's exactly why you shouldn't just vote blindly for the sports team we call political parties, but to form your own values and, most importantly, think for yourself. Because if you and I are going to change how society approaches issues, As I've hopefully shown through this channel and this video, the last thing we shouldn't be afraid to do is to admit when we've changed our minds. Because who I vote for or who you vote for, or if someone decides they don't want to vote, those decisions don't define me or you. That should be the last thing that should dictate whether you like or dislike someone. And the reason why I feel comfortable revealing this is I believe my true audience understands this. And so if you're with me, help me support the channel by downloading the free app Straight Arrow News. Or put your email on our waitlist for an exciting project that we're building out to change the future of journalism. But if you don't care about all that, and if YouTube gets it right, then I think you'll like this next video too.